don't do that. No, stop it. Stop it. You go back to your containment cage before we have words, okay? I'm in the middle of something right now. I don't have time for this. Thank you. Up. Thank you. Sorry about that. Hi there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP community, and welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. Today's stream is going to be approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes, about that range. So, in the meantime, if you are new, welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director and Head Containment Specialist here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as always, as I've been doing daily for the last 5.5 months, almost 6 months straight now, I have been streaming daily to open my office door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about the Foundation, whether it be questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contains them, the groups of interest who get a little salty about the whole containment thing, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. Perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. I am here for the next hour and 20 to answer your questions. Bright and early today, we have a long day of testing today in the afternoon and evening that I have to be present for. So, starting here. Val, congratulations on being the most punctual chatter and our first chatter of the day. Welcome to stream. Meanwhile, Amber, Junior Researcher Sally, Rat, Jace, Foxes, Senior Researcher Alex, Nicole, Silent Follower, Edward, Junior Researcher Sherwood. Everyone I have thusly named, thank you for your exceptional punctuality, and thank you for being members. Welcome to the stream. Meanwhile, Spampton G. Spampton, Selfie Self, Mr. Knight, Saleh, and Etziv. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here on time, and thank you for being here just for being you today. So, we have a donation right off the bat. Gamer77, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Denver omelet on your way past the commissary, because my oh my, is it an early stream for us today. It's actually morning. Shocking. Meanwhile, you said, hi, it's been a while. I'm still catching up with the old live streams. F the EC. Well, continue enjoying your time checking up on the backlog. Reminder, 1.5, 2 times speed is probably doable. I don't talk that fast, I think. I don't know, maybe I talk that fast. Do I talk that fast? Furthermore, you could say F the EC all you want, because they're not going to come for you. I couldn't even downrank their hot dog eating contest entrant mobile task forces for fear of what they'd do to me. Desk, good to see you in the chat, at least doing the desking, let alone if you can hear what's going on at all. Okay, I have an interesting query. Should there be a living personification of the internet, what would their containment procedure be? A living personification of the internet. Well, that could be a lot of things. If it is a person, if they're living as in a living body outside of a mainframe, well, they're very easy to contain because we can put them in any old humanoid containment cell. Yeah, they can search the internet for ways out, but we can foolproof that. Furthermore, if they were inside the computer, we would have to, because it's a personification, it is a person, that means it is an individual. It's not an omnipotent thing, which means like any other living fictional character, we could lock it in a singular server inside a Faraday cage where it could not escape. And then we would just have lots, in fact, that would shut it off from its access to the internet. So if it needed to access the internet for knowledge, that would even make it weaker. Although, once again, if you're in a Faraday cage inside a remote server, you're not getting out regardless. Why don't the George the Chinchilla emojis not infect the chat? It's only due to Desk's anti-memetic and cognitohazardous influence on the chat. The same thing that protects us and allows us to say SCP-2521 without getting, candlejacked. Ikram, Maxi, Derelix, and thank you all for subscribing and joining Site42 staff. Welcome to the crew. Give me the pen. No. Cool Man Fight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Go ahead and grab yourself a Belgian waffle on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, we have a problem. Someone stole Plan 42. This is what you get for leaving your plans on shelves that do not have any locking mechanism. For the wiki! Damn right, player one. What is the most ergonomic pen for spinning? Well, in my eyes, you want to get one of these rubberized coated pens because then there is a matte surface that allows you to spin it. I own some very nice pens for writing, but they're all very slick brushed metal, and that makes them very slippery. So I don't use my nice pens for spinning because I'll just throw them all over the room. I use nice rubberized matte pens. Gamers Against Weed, what the hell are you doing in my chat? You do not work for the or I would ask if you were a singular double agent within the Gamers Against Weed, but you are in fact using their logo and calling us a nerd. I do not feel like you have friendly intentions. Invadas! Intrudas! Gamer77, thank you for donating again. Dr. Clef is awesome. Here's some money for a shot. Oh, all right. Clef and I will have to do a couple at the commissary later. Sure. Oh, apparently Clef is abstaining from the liquor right now for the Childo, SCP-166. But we'll make some good steaks with the marinades. Jan, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the data that you will accrue in helping us make plans to win the battle against the white names. Bro, are you the secret CEO of the SCP Foundation? Intern Patil, the closest thing the SCP Foundation has to a CEO is the administrator, which I am not. Hell, we don't even know if that guy's alive anymore. But there's also the overseers above me, a lowly site director, the ethics committee is above me. So, I'm just a rank and file employee, really. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. We are searching for the person or persons that stole the Plan 42, so we put them in cell without windows and throw away the key for cell door. Well, yes, thievery of anomalous actions is not well liked in the Foundation, so yes, they will definitely have to answer for that. Dr. Sherman, let me out of the box. Start singing The Rumor It Happens from Hamilton. But Foxes, I thought you wanted to be in the room. I thought you wanted to be in the room. You're singing about it. You enjoy your time in there. You finally made it. Are you even allowed to talk this much about SCPs to random people? Let's hope security doesn't find out. Intern Squid, you must have forgotten. Here at Site-42's broadcast, whether it be a coffee break with Dr. Sherman or an office hours with Dr. Sherman, these are only broadcast to actual SCP Foundation staff members, except in rare occurrences. Now, this is all done through a back-end deal with YouTube's parent company, Google's parent company, Alphabet. And so we go through the algorithm to A, active SCP Foundation staff members, clearly. B, double agents within groups of interest, like I thought that Gamers Against Weed intruder was. C, sleeper agents who have awoken just now to being a staff member. And if you are just now finding out you're a staff member of the Foundation, your dossier for your mission is under your seat. Godspeed, agent. And by God, in this case, I mean the speed of SCP-029-J, codename Uber Driver Jesus, because you want a speed god on that. Furthermore, the only time we broadcast to the public is when we are broadcasting to universes that have a broken masquerade, where people already know about the anomalous in the Foundation. And in that case, I am the Foundation's public relations guy. And I'm here to make sure everyone knows, hey, we're doing a good job, you don't gotta worry, we're taking care of it. Dr. Navarro, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself some Cheerios with an H on the end on your way past the commissary. Got captured by security for stealing cookies. Help. That wasn't cookies. It was Plan 42, the thing that turns people into spiders and snake hybrids called Schneiders. Give it back. Where is the ball? Ah, yes. So we are, hold on donations for just 5 seconds. I'm going to catch you guys up with the stream title real quick. I mean, you can donate. I'll just answer them when I'm done. So, today's stream, when a bouncing ball becomes a bullet, is because I currently have a very viral video about SCP-018, the infinite bouncing ball. It is a rubber ball about 6 centimeters, similar to ones made by the Wham Corporation, and it bounces specifically. Every bounce has 200% efficiency. So if you bounce it from 1 meter, it will bounce 2, then 4, then 8, etc. And so what happens? Eventually, it's infinite. Eventually, the pressure and speed of that thing goes so fast that the surface area it's bouncing off of is not strong enough to bounce it anymore. That little rubber ball becomes a bullet. It goes through. And so people are asking if we can utilize the infinite motion at hand there to have infinite power. And I'm just saying, how would you do it? What mechanism could hold the infinite bouncing ball? Now, you think, all right, well, the easiest way to do it might be a piston of some sort, where you get it in a tube where it only bounces up and down at least, and then you can just keep it going, using those like walking pressure plates that Japanese streets have in some small areas where every step generates electricity. But what material would you make it out of that could survive infinitely pressure on such a small point as a bouncing ball? Think about it. It doesn't matter what material we use, it is going to be punctured by the infinitely fast moving bouncing ball. Right? Right? And so think about it. I mean, what kind of super tough super metal could possibly do the job? And don't you fucking say titanium. No iterations of SCP-022-J in this chat. That is not the answer. It's not even close to the answer. I'm watching you. So yes, simply that is the current thought experiment going on among the younger staff members. Has situational comment fights in the YouTube and TikTok comments. And so that is where we currently are. People are really excited about this bouncing ball. The lizard versus the ball. It's a tiny little ball. Yes, it might puncture the lizard's hide at a fast enough speed, but it will regenerate. So that's not going to work. All right. So yes, very small subject. Oh, I forgot a couple more things about this subject, actually. So people were thinking, all right, well, let's harness some of our captivitied reality benders to deal with this. Now let's think about this for a second. SCP-343, never going to help us. Has never actually helped us with something. When we asked it to kill 682, it just pretended it couldn't see it. When all of the anomalous world was wrecked by the anomalous event called the Impasse, which is SCP-6500, when that almost deleted all anomalies from reality, 343 knew it was coming, knew how many things and people would die, and didn't lift a single finger. Which is, to be fair, when we got so annoyed with 343 that we shot it in the face. So yeah, not the capital G God, and not helpful. And definitely not helping us now. People asked if SCP-662, Mr. Deeds, could find us something that could harness that power. But no. 662, Mr. Deeds, is limited in its capacity. It couldn't even get 100% pure gold. It had to settle for 99.14 when asked for a gold bar. So it couldn't bring us a car. It definitely couldn't bring us the kind of advanced machinery to harness the bouncing ball for infinite power. And then finally, someone said we could ask the Witch Child, SCP-239. But if you read the tale on the wiki, a suicide note, you would know that Dr. Clef has already terminated the Witch Child. Fed a combination of arsenic, cyanide, acidic excretions from 035 and 075, among with a bunch of other chemicals. And 239 melted instantly. Dead, gone. So, yeah, not gonna be helping us very much. But yes, we could, I thought the Witch Child was in a coma. Depends on the universe / canon. Okay, so yes. That is where we are. On the current virality of Site 42 explanation videos about anomalies. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. You want a Stealth Boy laser weapons from Fallout? Yes. Yes. Advanced technology is great. Let's go with it. Dr. Navarro, thank you for donating again. I thought it said Snickerdoodles gives the plan back. We really need to test your reading. Then. Something might be wrong with your eyes or mind. Perhaps a mimetic hazard. Blake! Wait, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Snickerdoodle on your way past the commissary. Outer God saying hi again. Well, hello. Coer Liger, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a chicken fried steak on your way past the commissary. Think with portals. One on the floor, one on the ceiling. The ball would be contained by infinitely falling. Would that work? Well, that could contain it. But now the question is, how do you harness the energy of its infinite motion? unless you have some sort of energy absorbing portal, but that would absorb the energy and therefore slow it down. Because right now, the infinite bouncing ball is contained. It's contained in a nice locked, insulated, gelatin-locked box, so it can't bounce. Present Mike, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and hey, long time no see. Good to see you, buddy. Make sure to grab yourself a croissant on your way past the commissary. Is there an SCP that can help remove dog hair? My husky sheds way too much. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, Dr. Sherman. Keep being yourself. Well, thank you for the well wishes. Desk, you are quite familiar with husky hair. Do we have any anomalies that could assist in Present Mike's situation? Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. We got the wrong Plan 42. This is Plan 42 cookies. All right, maybe Dr. Navarro can read. So, all right, I guess we need to keep looking. If SCP-018 is infinite, why don't we dump our trash there? Because we don't know what's down there. We only think it's infinite because we haven't gotten far enough. It might not be infinite. And possibly, it could irritate the entity down there, which would be unethical. So, no. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Speaking of pets, my cat is giving my hair a bath, lol. Gracie, one of the cats around Site 42, just woke up Goose by licking their hair until they awoke. So yes, hair baths are seemingly in fashion today. Phantom Reactor, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. Need support for 05, yes, a private SCP game network. Yes, we do need the 05 to approve such a project for a facility-wide LAN party so the anomalies can ethically game internet-wise with each other. It seems like a lot of resources, so we need the funding as well. Present Mike, I would say read SCP-477, and I cannot remember the number, but it's called Metaphysic Clean. All right, so the SCP called Metaphysic Clean might be able to help with your husky hair. Thank you, Desk, for the word. Clover, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Get yourself a corn dog on your way past the commissary. One of those ones where it's a pancake and sausage rather than an actual corn dog. And since you didn't send a message with either of your donation, thank you for your generosity in donating twice. Blake, thank you for donating again. Using a turbine system with water, the ball, as it passes through the water, will vaporize the water. The steam would then proceed to turn a turbine. But here's the thing about when you shoot bullets into the water, they do not go that fast. They do not get that far down. What is the physics there? But I seem to remember that even a speeding bullet, when it goes through water, is stopped very handily. And so the liquid physics with an infinitely bouncing ball, you would lose so much momentum that you would no longer get bounce at that point. Do you see the problem? What time is it there in the USA? Well, here on the East Coast, here on the West Coast, Rat. In California, it is currently 11:04 a.m. Oh, which reminds me, I need to remove the bots from today's video. Due to the help of our friendly neighborhood synthetic alien, video editor and channel manager of the channel to help me be able to make more content, we have our shorts uploaded on an automatic schedule every day. Unfortunately, what we can't do through YouTube's auto mods is stop the bots. And so I have to manually go in here every day and delete the bot comments Very frustrating. Uh-huh. Newest. Uh-huh. There we go. All right, clear. All right, where was I? Clover, thank you for donating again. This is my first stream and I have access to money. Well, if this is your first stream, then welcome again. Thank you for your generosity in helping the Site-42 cause. And yeah, just a quick introduction. I'm Dr. Sherman, Site Director of Site-42. And here in our coffee break / office hours streams for at least 30 minutes a day, but usually 30 minutes to 3 hours a day, I open my office doors to you, the Foundation staff, so you can ask questions about what's going on around here, about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contains them, groups of interest like the Gamers Against Weed, who are really annoying to our containment efforts. And then hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of our purview. Perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. We have about a little less than an hour left for answering questions today. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again. Funding? Ha 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 ha, blank check. Anyway, support? Well, it would be nice if the overseers would give us one of those, and that we could actually cash it. The last anomalous funding scheme we came through had, well, strings attached. Someone asked if it was against the rules to draw me enjoying SCP-420-J, by the way. That is not against the rules in any way, shape, or form. I am a known SCP-420-J enjoyer. We have a good time here at a higher elevation, so to speak, during those parties. So no, that's not against the rules. Yes, Gamers Against Weed. You are new to the chat, I see. And so yes, you are allowed to roleplay to a point, but watch your spamming and don't break the rules and don't get on Desk's rough side. Desk, as moderator, does not roleplay because is doing busy work. So, respect the Desk. Also, I'm the good cop. Desk is the bad cop. And consider that I'm the good cop. Blake, thank you for donating again. You said specifically that Super Ball ignores the laws of physics. Well, the only way it ignores the laws of physics is by bouncing twice as fast. It doesn't ignore every law of physics, it just ignores that one. And so, like I said, right now we have it stored in gelatin, and since it doesn't bounce in the gelatin, it doesn't bounce. Furthermore, the time when it got loose and wrecked a bunch of people, we found it in a field several miles away, slowed down, and stopped. Which means it does eventually stop. It doesn't just go on forever, ever. For instance, we do have a sword that cuts through anything in containment. But the problem with the sword that cuts through everything is someone dropped it face down point down into the ground. And so it cut through the entirety of the earth, then turned around due to gravity and came back and forth and back and forth, and eventually flew off, slingshotting into the stratosphere. Ay, ay, ay. Which I don't even know how that works, considering the Earth's core is molten, except it can cut through anything. So I guess I know how it works. It's just stupid that they did that. Everyone is saying perfectly fucking vertical. Is that a quote from the article I'm talking about, or is that a quote from somewhere else and I'm unfamiliar with the meme? Sword cut through anything. Yes, SCP-6572. For instance, it's a reference from Rick and Morty. Excellent. I do enjoy a little Rick Sanchez from time to time. So yes, Here's an emergence event of SCP-6572, the sword that cuts through anything, emerging on the opposite side of the planet from which it entered. So, yeah, it's currently somewhere out in the stratosphere. It left Earth's gravity well on either September 12th or the 9th of December in 2017. You never know which way people do the dates on this website. People do day, month, or month, day, and they get all confusing. And then Rick and Morty, perfectly vertical. Ah, they did it with a lightsaber. That's right, a lightsaber. Gotcha. Hilarious. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Why are there bot comments? Oh, so yeah, this is an epidemic on YouTube. Most creators, you know, when they get to a certain size, these bot accounts with these profile pictures that are supposed to look like pornography if you look not close enough at them. But then if you zoom in, it looks like two couch cushions with a dog face in the middle. So when you're looking at a very small version, it looks like an ass. But then you get close and it's a couch, so they have plausible deniability in the algorithm. And their goal is to get you to click on their profile because it looks like porn, and there you'll find a link to a scam OnlyFans or something like that. So they're all scams, scam bots. You get used to seeing them. I try and delete them, but for some reason the auto mod doesn't pick up the phrases they repeatedly use, because they always say the same things, but the auto mod doesn't grab them either. I'm so annoyed. Clover, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site-42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and your service, especially the data you're going to accrue in making plans to help us win the battle against the White Names. Super Sam, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a wafa thin mint on your way past the commissary. Can I hug SCP-999? Well, sure. Jan, thank you for your member message. We appreciate your membership and your service. What if we put SCP-018 against SCP-225-1? Well, that would depend on what SCP-225-1 is. 225, codename Unstoppable and Immovable. Shiny gray metallic spheres of unknown origin and composition, each with a diameter of 0.681 meters. 225, you said 2251? Yeah. 2251 appears stable and motionless, but is in fact moving in a geosynchronous path above Earth at the exact speed of Earth's rotation, maintaining its relative position at all times. Well, it would bounce off of it, because nothing has ever been able to move 225-1, but 018 would just bounce off it. Quite a simple hypothesis. Intern Rolex, I do not understand why you're so interested in SCP-067. I mean, yes, I am quite marveled that a fountain pen can take over your arm and write your life story, even things you have forgotten, or make you draw works of art, some of which have even come alive. I think I was informed, if I am correct, that SCP-085, codename Hand-Drawn Cassie, was the result of an experiment conducted between SCP-067, the fountain pen, and putting that image through SCP-914. It made SCP-085 come to life. And also, we made it super depressed, so this is why we don't create anomalies. Blake, thank you for donating again. How angry would you people be if I stole Dr. Cliff and removed him from your reality and all realities? I'm unfamiliar with a Dr. Cliff. I wouldn't know why you would want him. But, I mean, I don't like you stealing any of our researchers. Dr. Navarro, thank you for donating again. Can I try an experiment with SCP-049? I want to hotbox it with SCP-420-J to see the Hweed's effects on 049 and how it reacts when high. Not an excuse to get high. I mean, we've already done that experiment. You just got to be careful, because if you accidentally nudge 049 during a pass, well, then you are going to go from a higher elevation to 6 feet under very quickly. Be careful. To Kaz, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. What is SCP-297? I don't want to look it up. Ah, yes. SCP-297. Codename Steely Dan. Another in our menagerie of anomalous dildos. Which, between 297 and 3883, if I had a nickel for every time I cataloged an anomalous dildo, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot. But it is weird that it happened twice. Yes, Steely Dan, which is named after the song, I believe, not the JoJo reference. Although I am gonna check the discussion and find out. It was written in 2008. So was Steely Dan, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, around in 2008? How old is the Steely Dan character? I'm curious. Dan, JoJo. Even though, furthermore, Steely Dan, the JoJo character, is also named after the band Steely Dan. So we're 2 ways there. But okay, when was chapter 160 of JoJo? March 5th, 1990. Oh, wow, JoJo's a lot older than I thought it was. I'm not into JoJo, I just know about it a little bit through osmosis. So, huh. Okay, well, it could be either, I'm not exactly sure. Oh, yes, and Steely Dan, SCP-297, is a Dr. Clef original. I did not realize Dr. Clef wrote this anomalous dildo. And technically, yes, this is an anomalous vibrator, specifically, but it is a nuclear-powered anomalous vibrator. And so if you use it at its typical functions, it works like a typical vibrator. But if you turn it all the way up to the suicide function, then it turns you into goo. And when we found it, it had tunneled through several floors of an apartment complex into that parking garage before we were able to get to it. Mintage, Otako, and Armando. Welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Also, I want to look up something that I mentioned earlier just to check. Da. Control F. Doctor. Extended log. Okay, so we did not do the 049 test with 420-J on the database, at least. But yeah, we've done it off database. Oh, we have a chat refresh necessary. Could the ball material be copied so we can harness the power from it because it doesn't melt from immense energy? So let me pull up SCP-018. I actually believe, if I'm remembering correctly, it has the appearance of a Whammo Company 6-centimeter red bouncing ball. This ball became a dangerous projectile, reaching speeds over 100 kilometers per hour, damaging property and injuring 5 in the city of Redacted. Oh, God. Oh, damn. And by oh, God, I mean SCP-3305, codename Bread Jesus. Because we're going to need some healing abilities for this. A researcher decided that if we installed this bouncing ball into the foot of some armor for our mobile task forces, it could give them super jumps. And then, staff back in the day was stupid enough to try it. And so the agent was launched a mile into the air and suffered 2 broken legs, 7 broken ribs, and a missing arm and a skull fracture upon hitting the water of a lake when they came down. And then the doctor is saying, oh, I fixed it. If you can give me some SCP-006 and 2 other SCPs, I can make an armor that will work. I do not trust that researcher farther than I can throw him. And I can't throw him very far without tying him to the bouncing ball. Site-42 staff, I want to give you a time check. We are currently 45 minutes into this stream, which leaves us with 35 minutes left. On top of which, I want to tell you, this stream is not sponsored, but instead it's sponsored by viewers like you. And so at all times, Site-42 staff, whether it's by super chats, by Ko-Fi donations, which take a little less of a fee, so we appreciate the effort if you go to the Ko-Fi, or by being a patron or YouTube channel member, we appreciate you directing to keep the lights on at Site-42. So a big thank you from me, our chat moderator desk, our Discord moderators, as well as our editor, Synthetic Alien. We appreciate you. Your hair is on life support. Well, yes, the color is in fact faded very far down from the peacock coloration that it started much more vibrantly. But on that subject, we currently have a challenge going with the chat. You guys wanted me to dye my hair pink and set that membership goal to 2,500 members. If we have 2,500 green names in total, then the next time I go get my hair colored, we will bleach out the blue and green and purple, and we will make it pink. And currently our membership total is at 1,741. So you're just shy of 1,750, which means just a little more than 750 memberships required. So you're about, what is that, 2/3 of the way there? So epic work so far. You just got to finish the job. And so I look forward to your success because, hey, I think the pink hair will probably look really good. So yes, gifting memberships and becoming a member is the way you win that challenge. And I'm being told, yes, we currently have more likes than views as well. So my intrepid Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename the Signal Boosters, congratulations on your effort hitting that like button. With your strength of will, we will use the YouTube algorithm to suck more people into the SCP quagmire. They will be stuck in this fandom forever. They can't escape. The stories are too cool. The Creative Commons is too freeing. It's the future of art. We're the largest online creative community for a reason. And so, I thank you for your service in bringing us more support for the SCP community. You know, the K-pop Demon Hunters say it's for the fans, but for us, it's for the wiki! Do you think the VHS franchise team could do an SCP film? Well, Guardian Witch of the Commonwealth, I am sure they could. I am sure they are capable, just like I'm sure A24 is capable. These horror groups would easily be able to make an SCP movie. The problem is the copyright situation. Hell, even The Backrooms is getting an A24 movie. But our Creative Commons rights on the SCP Wiki means that anyone would be able to pirate and reuse parts of their movie for their own projects, and most studios are not keen on that. So Amazon, Netflix, all of them are very not likely to touch SCP with a 10-foot pole. I think Dead by Daylight went on the record saying that the reason they won't use SCP characters is because they don't want to touch the Creative Commons, which I don't think using an SCP character in your game as a guest character would make your whole game Creative Commons. I think you're just allowed to do that, but they're afraid of it, so they don't want to do it. So that means it's up to us, people. We get big enough at Site42, we start to get some Markiplier unfathomable money. 37 million subscribers, more money than God. We'll make Containment Breach with Markiplier, if I can get him. We'll make SCP movies and games. We'll do it ourselves. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Oh, the Shark Punching Center is here now. We got rid of Gamers Against Weed, and the Shark Punching Center shows up. Great. Why can't you put Josie the half-cat with the infinite pizza box so it never gets mad? Because Josie isn't allowed cheese. Did you not read SCP-529? It's a very short article. I assume you're literate since you are typing. Josie is not allowed cheese. Those cheese farts are devastating. Dr. Sherman, would you like to show some dancing moves to the stream? Well, I hadn't intended on it. Do you want to see some dance moves? And what kind of dance moves? Could SCP-343 beat the Scarlet King? SCP-343 couldn't beat a pistol to the face. Read the tale Divine Intervention. SCP-343 is God. SCP-343 is blatantly not God. It's a reality bender with delusions of grandeur. Stop playing into its psychosis. Hey, Doc, what do you do when you get bored in the office? Oh, we throw things at Steve. Well, we did. Steve's not doing so great right now. But he's up to his 12th and a half birthday, so we're working our way through the memory re-biographication, and hopefully we'll be able to get down to what happened in that containment breach last month. No, Rat, Steve is not normal again. Steve still does not remember who he is or his time here at the Foundation or anything like that, so we're still waiting on seeing if any... We're upping the dosage of Nestix to see if we could jog his memory while going through the process. I am somewhat new to the SCP Wiki. With all of the different articles and tales, where do you recommend I start with? Well, Intern Banner, my first suggestion is, do you have any friends who like SCP as well? Because they might have recommendations of articles they like, and you probably have similar taste in media to them, if you're friends, meaning you might enjoy what they enjoy. There's also a great page called the User Curated Lists. It's on the side tab of the front page. And you go to the curated list and it shows recommended lists based on different artists, different authors' takes. And so that's a great place to see a bunch of stuff. The random button is fun. You just dive in and you see if you find something you like. You start with an article you like and then you see if it has any links to any other articles and you follow the cross-references. You read any article that a content creator like myself brings up on stream to keep up with the memes. Just remember, don't pressure yourself too much, because just like comic books, you're never going to be able to read all of them. And so just read away as you like it. The Wasteland Ranger, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Nuka-Cola Victory on your way past the commissary. Thanks for letting us borrow some of your things. Don't be mad at the guard. The brownies were laced with horse tranquilizer. Love, Serpent's Hand. Goddamn hippies. And by damn, I mean, by God in this case, I mean SCP-5991, codename Vorjesus. I hope that one of you snakes eats a Bible without condiments and gets sent to that Jesus land theme park in its stomach by being swallowed by it. How is your ankle doing? It is doing a little bit better. I can't walk for as long as I would like. Walking tends to make it swell. But if I do stationary exercises like yoga, then I'm getting a lot stronger at that, which is good news. They say it takes 6 to 12 months to recover from a tendon injury like this. And unfortunately for me, I also recollected just this month that getting to December, the year anniversary, will mean I'll have basic use of my ankle. But I'm in a situation where before, I was of a much higher caliber than your average person. I would ballroom dance 8 hours a day teaching. I would hit the gym every morning. I would run 5K for my morning warm-up. So at that point, it's going to take me longer to get back to myself, which is a little depressing, but at least I thought about it early, so I'm not disappointed when I get to the year mark. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. If you were forced to live in Fallout 3 Point Lookout DLC or Fallout New Vegas Honest Hearts DLC, what do you choose? Well, if I remember correctly, Point Lookout is pretty, for lack of a better term, bumpkin. And as much as I'm from the South, the swampness there worries me. Whereas if you go to Honest Hearts, you're dealing with the Great Salt Lake. No. Desert or swamp is really the situation here. I guess I'll go swamp. I'm more used to swamp than I am desert. Point Lookout it is. Hope you're back to 100% soon, dude. Tendon injuries suck. Also, which SCP cooks the best? Well, Intern Quaid, thank you for the well wishes. Yeah, for the first 2 months, I didn't know it was my tendon, so I was stretching it, which obviously made it worse. So for 2 months, I wasn't even healing. Oh, so that was frustrating to find out. But yes, we're making progress now, slowly but surely. And at least the best cook I'm familiar with on the SCP side of things is SCP-5031. I mean, that's a Michelin star chef right there. Kayla, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Ramune soda on your way past the commissary. Hello, is there a fun SCP-0762 fact? I'm curious. Well, fun fact about Abel. Most people don't realize that Abel is an asexual, non-binary character. I like to joke that Abel does not see gender, only victims. Because Abel is not interested in sexuality in any sense of the word, and in fact does not discriminate between men or women or other genders, only viewing physical characteristic differences to denote who is who, kind of like face blindness. And so, yeah, way to be a arrow ace non-binary king. Fuzzy Mint, thank you for donating again. Or no, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. My bad. Make sure to grab yourself a brioche on your way past the commissary. Are there any limitations to the SRAs? Well, yes, the Scranton Reality Anchor is, first of all, it's the size of an MRI machine. It is very expensive, it is very large, it is very unwieldy. And so you can't just carry them around. A lot of people think, oh, you just put an SRA there. Just put an SRA there. They're so big and expensive. You got to take time to build it. You got to take time to assemble it. You got to take time to find the dead reality bender that we use to power it. Because, yeah, if you didn't know, at least in some universes, they're powered by the corpses of dead reality benders. So there's a limited supply of those as well. Are there other living chairs other than Dr. Chair? Well, Intern Chedevre. Dr. Chair is, of course, here. Desk is an animate desk, but not a chair. SCP database. And do we have a tag for chair? I doubt we have a tag for chair. Yeah. Furniture. Oh no, I don't want a tag search, I want a basic search. For chair. So obviously 1609 was a living chair until the Global Occult Coalition wood chipped it. And now it's a pile of living mulch that if you're wearing a GOC or other militarized outfit, it teleports into your lungs and causes you to die. Furthermore, It looks like 396 is a teleporting chair. It looks like... 6367 is an anomalous chair, but it doesn't seem to be alive. And we have a couple other anomalous chairs, but none of them seem to be alive. But that's just the ones that are listed in the database. For instance, Dr. Chair isn't listed in the database, so that isn't the be-all, end-all. Toasted Fishtail, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a plate of pancakes on your way past the commissary. I swear 096 is the most popular SCP. Well, it is definitely one of the more well-known ones, up there with 049, 173, 682. It's, you know, it's a very simple concept, which makes it very easy to spread the meme of. Hussam, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Taco Rito on your way past the commissary. Would an SRA affect SCP-3008? So, Scranton reality anchors don't so much just delete anomalous activity. That is not exactly what they do. If you just flip on an SRA, it's not going to actively deactivate anomaly no matter what. It only works in certain cases. And it works in certain cases because... How to describe this? In the, on the database, there's an essay you can read on Humes. The essay is called A Frequently Asked Question, or What the Hell is a Hume? And the idea of this essay, it tries to describe how Humes work, how Scranton reality anchors work, and things like that. So the idea is, imagine that you have a tabletop, and the tabletop is covered in sand at an even level across the whole tabletop. That is an illustration of reality. Now, if you scooped up some of the sand into a mound, then you would have a mound of sand that's higher, and then a lot of valley around that. And so the mound is the reality bender, who is more real than everything around it. And when you are more real than the reality around you, you are able to affect reality because you are the one who is more real. Another way you could imagine this is thinking about pataphysical narrative levels. We all exist in our planes of reality, but above us are the authors of your reality. They are the writers, the animators, whoever drew you, whoever wrote you, whoever programmed you into the video game that is your life. And they are more real than you. And so that's why they can affect you. And then if you write a character or draw a character or create a video game character, then you have created a pataphysical narrative level below you. And that pataphysical narrative level is faker than you. So Scranton reality anchors sort of bend the reality levels around an area so that they are equalized, which takes away a reality bender's realness, making them unable to affect reality because now everything's as real as them. But that doesn't mean a Scranton reality anchor nullifies all anomalies. Apparently is someone spamming asking if Abel attacks children, which Abel is the type to believe in fair combat, so no. It is not honorable to defeat a child in combat. As far as I'm aware, that is only Clef who can nullify all anomalies. Yes, Dr. Clef, one kid teenager in the Midwest, and then... son of a bitch. Donald Trump are what are called reality sinks. Now, reality sinks are kind of like a hole in the table letting sand fall out. And so what ends up happening is reality sinks, and this is it's S-Y-N-C, right? Or no, it's S-I-N-K. S-I-N-K. It's literally a sinkhole of reality. Yeah. Clef, that teenager, and Donald Trump are reality sinks. S-I-N-K. It is a hole for anomalous energy to fall into. And so when you have that kind of being, then anomalies just do not work around it. And unfortunately, when given the choice to contain the demon Old Gorman, who lives under the capital of the United States of America and was feeding off the negative energy of politics in the capital and growing more and more powerful to the point where it would destroy the world, or at least breach secrecy by destroying the United States Capitol, we had to make a choice to make one of those three entities, the reality sinks, president of the United States. That way it could siphon off the anomalous energy from Gorman and keep it dormant. And we, at the time, thought Clef would be a worse president. We were wrong. We're sorry. The problem with being a reality sink is it has deleterious effects on your personality. In the case of Clef, I'm assuming that's why Clef is basically Satan and such a jackass. A lovable jackass at times, but a jackass. Meanwhile, it's made Donald Trump absolutely mentally deficient. I mean, just stupid. And so, yeah, we're sorry for the situation. It's our fault. Aura, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. What happened to the kid? What happened to the kid? Trying to find where we, Class 3 demonic entity. A preteen child in Omaha that is a sufficiently powerful reality sink, but of course cannot become president. So as far as we know, the kid is just in Omaha still. I don't have any updates on that child. How powerful is SCP-5000? Well, it's a suit that makes you mostly invisible to perception, and then keeps you alive somewhat. So I guess it's a fairly powerful artifact, but I wouldn't power scale it as a suit. Husum, thank you for donating again. So what happens if Cliff entered SCP-3008? Who is this Dr. Cliff you guys keep talking about today? I'm not familiar with this researcher. What do you say is the most hardest SCP you know how to contain? The hardest SCP to contain, by far, with no contest about it. Let me see if I can find it, because I don't remember its title. I just gotta search the database here. Is that it? No, that's not it. Still searching. Is it down at the bottom? Desk, there's a joke SCP that's just so many containment procedures. Do you remember what I'm thinking of here? There we go. Procedure 110 Overkill. SCP-100,000-J. SCP-100,000-J. Codename Procedure 110 Overkill is the hardest to contain. A sarcophagus filled with no less than 50 copies of each of the following religious scriptures: the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Tao Te Ching, the Book of Mormon, the Bhagavad Gita, the Satanic Bible, the Necronomicon, and the God Delusion. Once you put it in the sarcophagus, you must give it broadcasts from 4 loudspeakers of at least 2 members of the O5 Council, giving live monologues of how awful SCP-100,000-J is and why it will never, ever escape, destroy humanity, or find true love. The area must be sealed in a hermetically sealed outer sarcophagus, which is then placed 5 kilometers underground, separated from the surface by 5 kilometers of solid concrete, blended with the ground bones of saints. Area 100,000-J has been established as a 100-kilometer radius on the surface above SCP-100,000-J. The fence on the perimeter, blah, blah, blah. There's so much going on here. Go read SCP-100,000-J, Project 110 Overkill, to see what happens when we got a fucking job to do. Husam, thank you for donating again. What happens when Dr. Alto Clef enters SCP-3008? Now Alto Clef, that I am familiar with. Unfortunately, we would never run that experiment because there is an infinite IKEA in there, and on the off chance that Dr. Clef's entering nullified the anomaly, then what would happen to all of the survivors who live in there when the infinite IKEA just poofs out of existence? Dead? Not a good thing. So yeah, we're not going to try that because that would be bad. Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a pizza on your way past the commissary. Hey boss, enjoying pizza day. I could be wrong. Someone just told me today is pizza day. Well, everyone thinks every day is pizza day, to be fair. There's always someone claiming it's pizza day. But today, at least there is pizza in the commissary. Message to anyone who has found their way to the Site-42 Discord. Please do not friend request me out of nowhere. I keep my Discord very limited. It is mostly for business purposes. Oh, by the way, Site-42 staff, we are currently in the last 5 minutes of stream. How? That crept up on me. We have 5 minutes left approximately, so get your questions in. What do you think of SCP Explained? Of the animation channels, they are definitely one of the better ones. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the animation channels in general, The ones like Detective Void or the Rubber, who were very fly-by-night, get as dirt cheap a product as you can, no matter how cheap it is. I don't appreciate that style of art, and trust me, I work in shorts content and streams. I know about low-effort content. But you still gotta show that you care about the community that's giving you stuff. You still gotta make the best you can with what you got. And Explained does a better job than most. And their voice actor, Hunter, is a dope dude. What is your favorite SCP? Intern Thorn, I will be telling you what my favorite SCPs are in approximately 3 minutes at the end of stream. It's kind of a tradition around these parts. So if you hang on just a minute, we'll be running the outro and the end of stream tradition soonly. Hey, have you played Lakeview Cabin Collection? I've actually never even heard of that, Intern Mole Rat. This is new material to me. Meanwhile, Intern Bannister, the real SCP-001 is the friends we made along the way. But actually, we have all of those 001s, so you don't know which one's the real one. Specifically you. Everyone else knows. And we're all laughing behind your back because you don't know which one's the real SCP-001. Sam, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. What do the computer systems at Site-42 use for logging and surveillance? Good old Windows or Unix-based systems? The SCP Foundation has its own operating system due to the fact that we have to deal with lots of anomalous text-based entities that try and raid our documents, anomalous AIs. So we have a, oh my god, what's the word? Proprietary OS operating for SkipNet. What is the biggest SCP in containment? Quite possibly that would be SCP-5909, which is a shrimp in outer space that is approximately 7.5 light years away from us, and it is an estimated 2.1 light years in length. So, that's a big-ass shrimp. One time it flew to Earth close enough to be seen by the naked eye, after which it turned sideways and it turned out to be a billboard for Red Lobster endless shrimp before it flew away again. That was pretty weird. Red Lobster claimed not to have any idea of what was going on there, but I'm not so sure. Keske and Ao, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. So, that brings us to the end of today's stream, everybody. And as always, at the end of stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you guys that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be cheating. But in case you do want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's Site42 hub and author page on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs that I have personally written, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're there, you can go over one tab over. There's some links there. Some links that people are very often very interested in finding, but they're just not hardcore enough to take the effort to find them. It's so sad. We want badass SCP agents, but we just can't find any because people are such wimps. Can't even find a link on a website. Shucks. And so, while you're at those links, you can become a Site42 Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You could do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate to us once at a time. Either way, we appreciate direct donations helping us keep the lights on. And if you want to, if you can't donate because you're part of the broke gang, and trust me, we're an arts community, starving artists is a thing for a reason. We know broke gang. As long as you are here in chat, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, chatting, watching our videos and all that, then you are an honored and valued member of Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codename the Signal Boosters. And because of your efforts, we are able to game the YouTube algorithm to bring people into Site42 and funnel them to the SCP community for the wiki! And that's how we support the SCP authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. And so, Mobile Task Force, Sci-42, codename Signal Boosters, I thank you for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one is a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on the last one's a rough read. Site42 staff, sorry for the short... Sorry about the short stream today. Got some errands to do, got some tests to do. But I will see you tomorrow for Fan Art Friday, bright and early. Site42 staff, I hope you had fun today. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Ooh, I have always been a creature of habit. Put another way, I'm addicted to you. I'm predisposed to habit. Happiest when I don't know what to do. I wanna settle down like my father. I wanna run away like my mother ought to. Be prepared for indecision. It might make me disappear. But then again, my addiction to indecision keeps me here. Ooh. The credit song is Indecision by Stephen Page. Be safe, be well, Site42 staff, and secure, contain, protect.